Hey, welcome back. This is Melissa Shaughnessy. We are about to kick off today talking about some good tips. The topic for today is going to be top 5 mistakes new real estate agents make and how we are going to avoid them. But what's everybody doing this weekend? What is everybody doing? It's Thursday. Normally I kick these off on a Monday, but it is Thursday. So I'm actually looking forward to this weekend. It's going to be Thanksgiving next week, so I kind of feel like it's a holiday. But I've got 2 daughters. One's 11 and one's 10. And the 11-year-old, she's really into Irish dance. Shaughnessy, as you can imagine, we're pretty Irish over here, even though that was her father's name. I'm also Irish. But she is going to be doing a 2-day fesh, which, if you don't know, is Irish dance competition. And my other daughter is going to be doing her first cheerleading competition. And that's like 3 days long, even though it's right here in town. So we're going to be busy. So Mama is going to have a little drinky poo tonight with her friends before we kick off this insane weekend. But before we do that, let's get into it. All right. So today's episode, top 5 mistakes new real estate agents make and how to avoid them. All right, first and foremost, don't go independent, okay? I have gone both independent and I have gone on teams. And when I thought I was ready to be independent, I found myself, and everybody's different, but I found myself just sort of lost and wandering the halls. I feel like I just didn't know who to talk to. I didn't know who to lean on. I didn't have like a mentor. I had a broker, of course, but it just isn't the same. I felt very alone. It was a very isolating experience going independent. Now, as you get further down into your career, I absolutely recommend going off into a brokerage where you can have bigger cuts and make more money. But certainly, when you're first starting out, I would absolutely join a team. The benefits are invaluable. So, just to name a few, obviously, you're going to have your built-in safety net for somebody to catch you if you fall. You expect to make a lot of mistakes along the way. That's how you learn, and that's okay. But it's really nice to have a team leader and team members by your side that you can sort of commiserate with sometimes when things aren't going great. You can trade stories, you can trade experiences, you can trade feedback, things that work, things that didn't work. You just have a built-in community, which I found invaluable. And then obviously you've got leads to work and you're not typically paying for them up front. You can buy leads, you can go to realtor.com and Zillow, and there's a million lead sources out there, right? But you usually have to pay for those before you even work them, and you don't even know if you're going to close them yet. So that's a really great resource. Built-in coaching typically. And, the better the team leader is, sometimes there's script practices, which absolutely suck, but they make you better. Or they have little cheat sheets for scripts, objection handling and things like that. You have a built-in support community, and it's just really easy to make connections and build relationships in the real estate world. And there's also might be a benefit of having a showing assistant or somebody there to show a property that when you go out of town, you can take advantage of as well. So I definitely recommend having that safety net and support in the foundation of the framework of your career. Okay, so that's the number one. So how we're going to do that is we're going to find a team. And, you can fast forward this if you've already been on a team, but if you're not, finding a team that will set you up for success. It's not enough just to say, I'm going to be on a team, right? So what I would say is I would choose 3 of the most prominent teams in the area that you want to work. And then you're going to go and try to get interviews with them. And then you're obviously going to land every single one because who wouldn't want you? You're going to join the team that has the best advantage in the following areas. Obviously, provided leads, right? That's the number one reason to join a team at the beginning. The next key area is their split structure. Obviously, you want one with the biggest splits coming to you, right? It's better to have something with an 80% split than a 40% split. We know this. However, the most important one I want you to focus on that might not be as obvious is you want to know what the split is for leads that are your own. You brought the lead, had nothing to do with the team leader, was not team provided. What do they give you for that? If they're giving you 40% for your own leads, I'd say run. That's highly unfair. The next question you want to ask is, if I'm there long enough that somebody comes back, and let's say it's a lead provided by them and they come back and they want to, let's say, sell the home that you helped them purchase, what do they offer for the second time? And this could be if it's their lead. What do they offer for the second time? And then, are there any team restrictions in place that will stifle your growth potential? For example, I was on a team where the buyer's agents could not take listings, could not take a listing. So it was kind of crazy when you're trying to build your framework for success and they won't let you actually do the job. So these are things that you might not think about, but you can just ask them in general, are there any restrictions that you allow or don't allow for future sales? Okay. Don't blow a year or two for nothing. Make sure that you are able to take the clients. The next thing I would say is read the contract in detail. There are a lot of teams that say, we give you the lead, it's ours, we own it forever. I'm sorry, can you hear my dog eating his food in the background? I'm sorry if you can. I'm hoping this will drown out that noise. Apparently it's dinner time. But anyways, there's a lot of contracts that say that you cannot take the leads with you. So the leads belong with the team forever and ever and ever. So now you've just wasted 1 or 2 years. The whole point is to get these clients to stay with you forever. So if you launch and you no longer can work with any of these clients because they've got some legal, cuckold on you, it's all for nothing. Make sure that you can take the leads with you. And you can just say, can I just see a sample of the contract? They should allow you to do that. Okay, the second biggest mistake that new agents make is leaning too far into that WFH life, the work from home life, right? So that can show up in 2 different ways. The first one is not going to the office. I totally get it, but the most successful years of my life is when I was going to the office every day. The least successful years of my life is when I was shying away from the office. And I completely understand, right? We're realtors. We've got our car. It's here. We don't need to go to the office. We've got our computers. We've got our printers set up. We've got everything set up at the house. We do not need to go to the office. Why? It just takes time out of the day. Traffic, getting ready, especially if you're a fabulous female and you want to get cute before you go to the office. I get it. It seems like a time waste, but it's not. That it can really stifle your growth if you decide to sort of be a homebody. And I'll tell you why. It can be really hard to find quick feedback or advice that you need. You can miss out on great resources. You can stay in a problem longer when somebody has like a quick fix. I could tell you they've done it 15 times in a contract. You'll actually feel the energy of, these big power players in the office and their excitement and their motivation to make money. It's so valuable. It's so valuable to your day to be around other like-minded, successful real estate agents. My dog. Oh my gosh. He's got his squeaky toy. I'm sorry. Buddy. Sorry. Just give me a little moment. Okay. All right. He doesn't know that we're doing a podcast right now. All right. So for all of those obvious reasons, you don't want to not work at the office. I've had some of the most relatable moments that have made me feel better when I've been at the office. I just remember I went in and I was a little bit newer agent at this brokerage, and this guy, he just seemed like he was killing it. His social media videos were on fire, and he seemed like he was just dripping in money, okay? Dripping in gold. And I remember I walked up to him and I was like, so how are these interest rates doing? Is this killing you right now? And he was like, oh my God, I have absolutely no business. I was like, oh my God, are you serious? He said, yeah. And I was like, well, you look really, really successful on social media. And he started laughing. He goes, girl, I got to do all that for show. He goes, I am dying out here. We just busted out laughing. It was so relatable. And sometimes you just need to know that somebody else is going through what you're going through at that time, because real estate can be can be tough. So that's another great reason to go to the office. The other thing that is under the same umbrella, you want to make sure that you have a social outlet that ultimately is going to be a lead generation source. It's really easy to just stay home. If it's cold out, you want to drink some hot chocolate, maybe watch a Hallmark movie. I get it. But you want to make sure you're out in the community. Okay. If you don't have a built in social community, you want to find one. And particularly somewhere that you can start going once a week. And that's hopefully already something that you've been wanting to do. Maybe it's a running club, a book club, happy hour, a weekly social club that meets up. I've seen people do these hiking clubs, weekly group golf lessons, cycling, cooking lessons, a wine tasting club, whatever. Just find something that you actually love doing. That's how lead generation becomes fun. And I swear, I've built a whole career on authentic connections created by doing things that I already love. And it's probably another reason all my clients are dream clients because, I didn't get them off Dave Ramsey or some other lead site. We found each other through real connection and doing things that we already like, and we already like each other before we start working together. That's just an added bonus to it all. I just try to make work not feel like work. So take some time to think about it. Where could you go? What kind of club or group or outing that would ultimately lead you to organic social media followers as a start? Okay. We're hoping for a friendship, but we'll start with a social media following. Okay. And not just because you want to up your numbers on social media. It's not about that. It's so that you can be in front of their face. You can be posting videos. You can kind of show them what you're doing at work without talking about work. Like nobody wants to sit around and talk about work when you're out having fun at night. This is your way of kind of being in their face very subtly. And then what happens is that they end up, their interest is piqued because you have toured a property and they love this house. I can't tell you, every time I show a property and then I go back out, I forget what I posted. And people will ask me, oh my gosh, how is that house? And I've seen that house in the neighborhood, or how much was it? And, I usually have some sort of interesting thing to say about it. Like, oh my gosh, you would think that place was fabulous, but it looks like it was really cheaply done. Or, my God, it was unbelievable. Let me tell you about the backyard or their wine cellar, whatever. It's just a conversation piece and they start it. You don't even start it. So now you become in their face about what you're doing. And so they start thinking about you when they're looking to buy or sell real estate, especially if you're not salesy, if you're just really natural and you're just posting what you do. People love that. It's the most authentic way to start real estate conversations. So think about where you could go, because in short, the answer is you want to get out and about. You want to immerse yourself in the office and your community. Success is going to take a lot longer if you stay in your comfort zone. And it becomes fun and easy after that. Mistake number 3 is leaving control of your financial future to somebody else. Now, it's very common when we're first starting out to just take whatever leads we can. Let me take that. And before you know it, you've got a closing for $200,000 and then $250,000. And then your friend Bob over there is selling $1 million homes. And you're wondering how he built that up and how come every single home he sells is $1 million. But it's just a matter of learning to work smarter, not harder. I'm the queen of this. I've figured out the whole system and I'm going to share it with you. I'm going to go into great detail with an upcoming workshop I have. So for instance, did you know that at an 80% split, we'll say to make $100,000, you would only need to sell 6 homes at the $700,000 price point, but you'd have to sell 17 homes at a $250,000 price point. So you see the importance of getting your price point from just taking whatever leads are out there to intentionally building your price point from day one. If you're taking my Rookie to Rockstar course in December, I break down every step of the system I use to double my income in 2 years, working 1/3 of the time that I used to work. And I wish I had the system back then that I did when I had to figure it out when I got divorced. But you can start the system now, and you should. It's probably the most important thing that you can take away from this podcast. You can see how a system in place like this from the beginning to grow your commission average like this is probably the most important thing you begin earlier in your career and placed into your 2025 business plan. We're not waiting for big checks. We're not waiting. We're making a plan to create them now. All right, the next mistake is poor time management. I think we're all squirrels when we start off in real estate. We're highly unfocused on average, and we just answer emails, and we take whatever leads come our way, and we're just so desperate to make things happen, and we've been given 19,000 different systems to work, and we just don't know which way to go, so we go everywhere, right? So we're going to avoid that. We're going to stop squirreling out, and we're not going to let others and our email control our day anymore. Here's how we're going to correct this. All you got to do is just control your day until 12 p.m. Just until 12 p.m. From the time you wake until 12 p.m. Control that time block fiercely. You're going to use this time for high impact activities that net real results. You are going to nurture your list. You're going to do your social media posting. You'll do client follow-up, and you'll plan your week in time blocks from there. Do the hard stuff first. So by 12 o'clock, you're done. And you can use the rest of your hours to spend as you choose. Tour properties, client appointments, contract negotiations, admin tasks, what have you. It's not possible every single day, I get that. But the more you train your clients, your office staff, and yourself to adhere to a do not disturb rule between 9 and 12, you'll actually propel your success forward. A little tip I use, if you can set aside 15 or 20 minutes at night to fire off any end of day emails needing responses, you can eliminate the inevitable rabbit hole of emails you accidentally get sucked into the AM because you think you've got to answer them right now. Try to knock out a few at night, and then by the time 12 o'clock hits, it'll just be the fresh new emails. An old mentor told me a long time ago, not every task or email is an emergency. Learn the art of focus, and the efficiency will follow. So I'm the queen of efficiency. If anyone needs any help figuring out how to cut hours out of the week and eliminate the overwhelm, I'm your girl. I'll do a future episode about that, but I outsource everything. In my personal life, from the groceries to the laundry. I just had my girl Jen, she just left. She comes every week for 2 hours and sometimes 3 hours, and she tidies the house. My kids just wreck the house and then they leave. And it's like a never ending cycle. If you're a mom, you get it. And so she tidies up the house, does the dishes. But most importantly, if there's nothing else, she does my laundry. I leave her a huge mound and she folds it. It's $25 an hour. It's incredible. I got her on care.com. There's a way for everything. And your time is your most precious asset. As I've said on the last episode, I am so fiercely protective of my time, and I hope you can honor that same commitment for yourself. You absolutely deserve to spend your hours doing what matters most to you and with who matters most to you, with zero guilt. I'm talking no guilt at all. So many people abandon their needs in real estate. They continually put themselves last, convinced that the only way to succeed is to run themselves rampant and drive themselves into the ground, because then they'll really deserve the success and the money that they're killing themselves for. But it's all BS. It's all BS. You just have to time block for the activities that net real results, and the rest of the day gets figured out. You aren't going to be finding busy work to do when it's time to have dinner with your family or to meet up with your friends, are you? It's funny how unimportant many of these morning tasks become when it's no longer a form of procrastinating what needs to be done most, right? So just knock it out first thing in the morning, and your days will unfold beautifully after that. Okay, no more lingering stress. The most important activities are complete. All right. The fifth most important mistake new realtors make is not setting themselves up properly for taxes from the beginning. I know this is such a dreaded topic, but it's such an important one. We'll do an upcoming episode in the future with a tax professional to speak in more detail about this. Obviously, disclosure, I am not a tax professional, and you should consult with your own, who will guide you in the best direction that is right for your financial plan. But what I will share, there are some key differences in whether you structure your one-person business as a sole proprietorship or as an S-corp. This following information is quoted from www.collective.com. Okay, how you pay taxes as a real estate agent depends on how your business is structured legally and how you elect to be treated by the IRS. If you haven't taken any actions on the legal structure of your business, you're a sole proprietor. Why can't I ever say that word? You're a sole You're a sole proprietor? You're sole proprietor. Wow. In the eyes of the law and the IRS, that means you and your business are one and the same. You get paid by clients or firms, and you pay income taxes and self-employment tax on the amount you earn. If you've organized your business as an LLC, you can get different tax treatment. By default, the IRS treats you like the sole proprietorship described above, but you can file a form to elect an S Corp treatment, which basically gives you a little more separation from the business and comes with a tax savings benefit. When you're an LLC taxed as an S Corp, you don't owe self-employment taxes on your full income. Instead, you pay yourself a salary like you'd earn from a job, and you only pay the tax on that portion. The rest of the money you make for the year is treated as a profit, and you only have to pay income tax on that portion. So, translation, you save 15.3% in taxes on a chunk of your income. Once again, this information is quoted from the website www.collective.com. So be sure to get your business structure set up properly for the new year. It is not too late, and you'll be ahead of the game as you continue to climb your way up to the top if you do this now. All right, that concludes the Agent Hero for today. Be sure to visit me at www.theagenthero.com for other great resources for the empowered real estate agent. And look for the announcement that's just dropped. If you're listening to me in real time, I am launching an unbelievable new workshop in December called Rookie to Rockstar: Secrets from a 20-Year Industry Leader to Skyrocket Your Real Estate Career and Leave Your Competitors Behind. It's built specifically for new agents who are wanting to fast track their success and kickstart their business in 2025 with a bang. Head over to the website for more details. Signing off for now. Until next time. Bye-bye.